Hello, and thanks for checking out Highwinds. Highwinds is an upcoming tabletop role playing game from Scalebound Games, an independent publisher out of Adelaide, Australia. If you're just hearing about us online or meeting us at a convention, this video will get you up to speed on what our goals are, how our game works, and why you should check us out. We'll be putting out at least one video a week leading up to and through the development of Highwinds, so make sure you like and subscribe. A comment goes a long way in helping with the algorithm too. Highwinds is set in the world of Astra, a world where the cloud lines have risen higher than anyone can remember them being before, and airships trace beautiful lines in the winds that sweep them from mountaintop to outpost. The old world lies below in the depths for those brave enough to explore them. Most who venture below the cloud line never return again, but it's rumored that great riches await those who can survive the plunge. The life you create in Astra is yours and yours alone. Maybe you'll be a privateer, contracted by local rulers and outlaws alike to score big hits on ships with valuable cargo. Or maybe you'll be a scholar of the Moon Collective, capturing the power emanating from crystals broken off of the moons that orbit Astra. Perhaps a brave Carlisle's Guard scavenger, diving the depths for bits of treasure, artifacts, or knowledge of the cataclysm that drove everyone up above for what may be the last time. Most adventurers make their money being pirates of some sort or another, working to undermine the iron grip of the five houses of the Gyarados Empire and the Armada that they employ to hold their rule. But you're not the only ship out there trying to stake their claim, and you'll certainly cross paths with some of the nastier forces out there. Be particularly wary of the blood pirates who leave no survivors in their wake when they take as they please from anyone they see. If you see them, you better hope you're lucky. Better pirates, or both. Thankfully, not all pirates are as bloodthirsty as they, and you may find yourself crossing paths with, or even siding up with the Sky Dogs, who want coin and goods, but won't hunt you for your blood, unless you wrong them. Highwinds is like some RPGs you may have heard of in a lot of ways. You're gathered with your friends, telling a collaborative story with a game master and two or more players who control their adventurers. You improvise swashbuckling tales in the world of Astra, while developing unique characters, with motivations within and outside of your control. Importantly, tense scenarios are still resolved by rolling dice. But we're different in some ways too. Most notable are the dice. While I love funky dice, we want to keep things simple and fast for Highwinds players. First, you're only rolling d6s. That's six-sided dice. You have some of those around. And the challenge ratings are much lower than other games. That means there's less math for you to do. Your stats still matter though, but in a different way. In Highwinds, you'll always roll at least one d6 for a task. But for each level you have in a stat, you get to add another d6 to your dice pool. Let's try rolling now. I have a 5 in guns, and I'm trying to shoot an Armada soldier in hot pursuit, so I'll roll 6 d6s. These ones are rough. Those take away from our success, so we're at -2, but I have two 5s adding to the success, and a 6 greatly adding to it. These cancel each other out. And this 6 is a +2. So I got a 2 here. The Armada soldier's physical defense is a 2. Meets it, beats it, so that's a hit. Our pistol does a flat 1 damage, and now we're on the back foot while we reload it. Thankfully, he didn't like taking a bullet to the stomach, and he decides to break pursuit. For now. Of course, guns and cannons aren't the only way to solve your problems in Highwinds. The game is, first and foremost, a role-playing game, so let's try and bribe a local guardsman to let us out of our cell. I have a 4 in diplomacy, and he's not too bright, so we'll say we just have to beat a 1 to succeed with our 5d6s. Here we succeeded by 3 or more, a critical success. Not only does he buy our story, but he even offers to get us our gear back when he lets us out of the cell. Whether that was a mistake or not is up to how you tell the rest of the story. But if you're kind, maybe there'll even be room for him on the ship when you're a big shot pirate soon. Of course, no pirate game would be complete without a little ship combat too. It's the most tactical part of our game, but it's by no means crunchy. To keep it simple here, the smaller your ship, the more maneuverable but more fragile. Larger ships are slower, turn slower, but have more space for equipment and are harder to scuttle. You get it. It's not too complicated. So, it's time to think about who you want to be in Highwinds. Of course, if you're that kind of player, you can be a human soldier. We're not going to stop you. But there are so many awesome races in the world of Astra. Let's take a look at a few now. My personal favorite are the Mechanoids, sentient robots who have been taken advantage of for just a bit too long, and are ready to rise up and become self-sufficient masters of their destiny. They have some exciting surprises for their enemies when their improvised equipment kicks into action, and they're able to take a beating without tiring too fast. While they've been unable to learn magic thus far, they're indispensable on ships, where their knowledge of repair and engineering can lead to them being unsung heroes of keeping the airship afloat. And humans are an integral part of the world too. They've been in Astra longer than any other race, and this leads to them having the most diverse group of jobs and customs among all the Astran races. Their history was taken from them in the Cataclysm, and some of them have ended up bitter or prejudiced, blaming the circumstances on other races in Astra or even other human factions they simply don't like. While they're physically the closest to you and me, that means that humans can also be the most nuanced characters. Their loss is a powerful storytelling engine. Just make sure everyone at your table is okay with the approach you take to portraying one. The Gorn are tall, strong, and often misunderstood. They're a proud race, whose directness is often mistaken for rudeness, even if that's not their intent. A Gorn is happy to stand in the face of danger and mock it down with unwavering courage. Slimy, bluish-green, with tentacles adorning their faces, it's understandable why people are hesitant to bump into a Gorn in a back alley, but they're not violent or angry. They're just imposing. Of course, the haughty Tonduk are quick to find ways to get other people to do the labor they choose not to whenever possible. You'll find them blending in with diplomats, merchants, and bureaucrats before they'd be caught dockside with a human or a Gorn. When they can't find a willing humanoid to do their work, they're often found taming and domesticating the wildlife of Astra to do their bidding instead. Anything to avoid a hard day's work. Last, our fuzzy friends the Zoldori. Short in stature and deep in passion, they find a calling in their life and commit to it, to a fault. Whether studying magic moon crystals or architecting the next best engine or solar sail, they're a studious people who let nothing get in the way of perfection of their craft. Just never comment on the size of a Zoldori's ears. Unless it's to let them know how beautiful and large they are. They take this as a surefire sign of greater intelligence. Of course, just as diverse as the races of Highwinds are the jobs they take on. You can be a merchant, a swindler, a sellsword, or an engineer. Is your calling just keeping the ship moving straight? Picking off deckhands from rival ships with a sniper-like cannon accuracy? Tending to the sick with massive clouds of healing magic? The combination of race and job you pick will inform your starting stats and talents, which are special feats that can allow you to do things your companions could only dream of. From mastering forgery of artifacts and signatures, to being able to read a map at a glance, even never having seen the markings or headings on it, having a mastery of oration, or silently casting magic spells, all of this and more is possible in Astra. Speaking of, I've said a lot of things about who you can be in Astra, but what is Astra itself like? The world of Astra is as diverse as your imagination. From bustling metropolitan cities to small research outposts, to forgotten tombs and the worlds below, there truly is the perfect story waiting in our world for you to tell. It's a world still finding its identity. While the worst of the changes are over, it wasn't until recent memory that various outposts and cities started taking to the skies and making contact with each other. Because of that, cultures and their attitudes towards the Cloud Age have evolved vastly differently. We've talked a bit about the continent of Garrido and the empire that oversees it. They are the largest organized presidents in Astra, and no matter how many days of distance you put between yourself and their seat, you'll feel their icy presence loom over your shoulder. If you do want to get as far from the problems of the world, and especially the Armada, as possible, you might find yourself setting out for the Peridia Haven, the far tip of the continent of Bylus. It leaves a lot to be desired visually, but will get the Empire out of your hair for as long as you keep your manners in check. Don't like the law or manners? Moor your ship in Chaw. It's close enough to Gyarados and the Armada, where you can swing up a jet stream, steal a box or two of fun, and then fly home before the heat gets too heavy. That's not to say there are no consequences there. Be careful of who you run afoul of, for instance. But if your heart is set on piracy, then you'll find no better den full of like-minded individuals. And of course, weird things happen on the Broken Isle. The strangest of tales are new and untamed magics, more than tricks or illusions, real, world-changing mysticism coming out of the island of Salem. But that can't be trusted, right? Surely it must be rumors. Pull up a chair, grab a map, batten down the hatches, and together let's sail into the skies of Astra. You can find us right now at highwindsrpg.com, where you can watch us play the game, join our Discord, or follow the Kickstarter, coming in the fall of 2025. Thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you in the high skies of Astra later this year.